What's up, everybody? Welcome to After the Final Whistle, football talk with John and Montel.
This is episode number 13. My name is Montel. We have our co-host John. What's going on this week, buddy?
Oh, not much, man. Not much. How was your vacation, sir?
That was good, man. The wife went on vacation. We've been married 10 years, so I decided to take a little trip because we didn't take a honeymoon when we were younger. A lot broke her then, so Um, I'm coming up on, I think this is like hour 20 or 22 or something like that. I've been awake, so pretty tired, but that's part of travel.
True, true. Well, congrats on 10 years, sir.
Appreciate it, man. How you doing this week? We hadn't had much time to talk.
Right. I'm doing good. Doing good. Just be ready, be happy to get out of the holiday season at work.
Yeah, I literally have been gone like 2 out of the last 3 weeks, so I can't relate. I'm sorry.
Rub it in.
No. Just you use it or lose the time at work. You know how that goes.
Oh, I know.
I guess we'll go ahead and get started. What's going on with injuries this week?
Uh, Injuries this week. So some potential big names might not play. Tony Pollard is dealing with a foot injury. I know he's not the starter, but the way the Cowboys utilize him, that could be a huge loss if he doesn't. Joe Mixon is a game time decision after his injury last week, as well as he is in illness protocol right now. Not COVID, but he's got some sort of illness. Um, Elijah Mitchell is out. He did not clear concussion protocol, but it does
See with
sound
the
like,
Niners.
yeah, it does seem like Saquon is trending to play, um, which could be good. Sounds like Mike Glennon is trending to get the start over Jake Fromm. Not sure.
State Farm?
Yes, Jake from State Farm. Not sure how much help either one of those will be with the Giants. Um, Joe Burrow says that he's going to play through his finger injury, so we'll see. Um, Darren Waller is considered day to day now, I think, instead of week to week, so possibly start. Um, but for the most part, that's all I got on the injury front. What about you on the news?
Well, we'll start off with a little bit of NFC North news, I guess. With the Vikings win on Thursday night football, Green Bay can no longer clinch the division title this week if they beat the Chicago Bears. But I mean, they'll probably still win. So here's a stat that I found. Bill Zimmerman is a writer or radio host, I think, for Sirius XM. He posted on Twitter that the Bears' offense this year is averaging about 174 passing yards a game. Sid Luckman, a Bears quarterback from the early to mid 1940s, averaged 190 yards a game. The Bears' offense is somehow less efficient than an offense that was almost a century old.
Um, Not surprised.
Mm-mm. And here's another one. So the Bears quarterbacks, regardless if it's I forget the rookie's name, Justin Fields, or if it's Andy Dalton, they're on pace to throw for 100 more yards than Sid Luckman did. But here's the kicker. Sid Luckman had 12 games. They have 17.
Damn.
Yeah. So their passing offense is historically bad. So I don't think you all have much to worry about playing them this week.
And yet they still have a better record than the Lions.
Yeah, I was actually reading about scenarios where the Lions can still somehow make the playoffs, but it was probably like if you had to read a book, probably like 3 or 4 pages long. They pretty much have to have a bunch of teams lose out, and then have to have like 3 teams have nothing but ties for the rest of the year. So pretty unlikely. So it wasn't worth mentioning this week.
Could you just imagine if somehow, some way, the Bears like snuck in, or not Bears, Lions snuck in?
I would. They honestly, I mean, they could win a game like the Saints did a few years ago when they were like 7-9, and you had like a 10-6 Giants team that didn't get to go to the playoffs because they were second in their division. So,
Jesus.
uh, I think they were second or third. But yeah, that was the Beastquake run that happened in Seattle some years back. Next on my list of things here is Justin Jefferson is just the third person in NFL history with 1,250 receiving yards in each of his first 2 seasons. The other two were Randy Moss and Odell Beckham Jr. So pretty elite company there. Not to say he's an elite receiver, but he's trending that way. So hopefully he doesn't take the OBJ head case method, and get bounced from team to team.
Yeah, I was about to say he needs to trend towards Randy Moss than Odell.
Yeah. I'll take 3 catches for 3 touchdowns and like 200 yards on Thursday night football on the during the what was it, Thanksgiving. Over using your helmet to punch a kicker's net and getting punched in the face by a kicker's net. So yeah, he's not.
Right.
There've been some comments, just by like the media and stuff talking about how he's kind of a diva and whatnot, but I don't see it that way. I think he's just passionate and doesn't like his quarterback making dumb decisions.
I can see that.
Throwing the ball in the dirt or throwing it clear out the end zone. I'd be pretty pissed too if I was a young receiver trying to be goatified. So,
Exactly.
a bit of weird news here. I'm sure you probably didn't get a chance to watch the game, but Dalvin Cook wore a shoulder harness in the Thursday night football game. He's done that in 2 games, and somebody dug up the stats that he apparently has 55 carries for 299 yards. Then he has 4 receptions for 53, so nothing really, not much there, but and also 4 rushing touchdowns. He's averaging like 5.4 yards a carry when he wears a shoulder harness. So maybe he should wear it more often.
Yeah, I actually did see that stat, and I was like, "Dear Lord."
Like, yeah, you don't have to hurt yourself. Just wear it. I mean, looks cool. So,
Yeah.
and last bit of news, kind of it is not a little sad. It's a lot sad. Broncos and Jets wide receiver or former Broncos and Jets wide receiver Demaryius Thomas did pass away this year. He was 33. I believe it was on Wednesday. And it's been reported that it was caused by a seizure. But the seizures are like a result, apparently, of like a car accident he had a couple of years ago. So a lot of folks around the league say he was one of the nicest folks you'd ever meet. Yeah, kind of sad, man. 33, gone too soon, especially from a lot of people say it was, it'd be from a concussion or CTE, but no, he just apparently had a seizure and just didn't get up from it. So
Yeah, I saw that news shortly after it was breaking yesterday, and it's just difficult to read.
yeah, man, yeah, and the thing that, like, I know it's like the cliche play, but the play that always sticks out in my head when you think of Demaryius Thomas was Tim Tebow throwing this lame ass duck down the seam or whatever he takes to the house and the wins. I think it was a playoff game against the Steelers. So, very talented player. Sad to see him. Sad to see he's gone.
Yeah. To teammates and friends, difficult news. Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, he's. I think he was friends with even Tom Brady. Tom Brady never says like much good about anybody. It wasn't like Gronk. So he said
Right.
that he was sad for his friend, and yeah, he'll be missed for sure. More than just a football player. So
Yeah.
I guess moving on from that, kind of somber, but let's move on to some of our fantasy football stuff. How did your fantasy team do this past week?
So in the money league, I've had a knack for Monday night miracles to get me the win. This week it was a Sunday night miracle to get me the win by 2 points to keep my second overall spot and first round bye in the playoffs. And then in the fun league, I just destroyed my team. It was like 141 to like 86, something like that.
What you said in terms of like record in those leagues?
I believe I am 8-5 in the money, and then like 5-8, 5-7 in the just for fun.
Yeah, I'm going to bring this back up, but I did make a comment that I was going to sneak in the playoffs and hopefully make like the greatest comeback of all time. Started off with I think 2-6, and now I'm 7-6. I beat my opponent last week 137-99. The same guy who actually may quit a few weeks ago. So it is what it is. It wasn't an easy win, but it was a good one nonetheless. So, and that's in the money league.
Yeah, I noticed since that week, I don't think he's won another game.
I don't think so. I mean, look.
Because I think he was like 3-10.
Yeah, 3-10. He won his first three and then got the dog piss kicked out of him in the rest of them. So, hey man, I'm not a bully. I just do what I have to do, man. I needed to make a statement. So, yeah. In the free one we played the just for fun one. I beat my opponent there as well. I mean, look at the score. It was 122-83. He actually made the playoffs, and I didn't because injuries. And they kind of pile up early in the season. It kind of screws you. So, it is what it is. We'll live to fight another year.
Exactly.
And I guess we'll go forward and we'll talk about some of our predictions from last week. You're still doing a lot better than me. You are at 22-11. Last week you're 1-2. This week you're 1-1. Missing the game because the Packers are on a bye. Predicted the Chargers would lose to the Bengals 13-24. They actually won 41-22. I predicted the Broncos would lose to the Chiefs. No. You predicted they would win 28-17. They won 22-9. So that's like an AFC North score, not an AFC West score. Interesting. I'm sitting at 16-18. 1-2 last week, and I 0-3 this week again. So why? Let's see. The Washington football team, I predicted they would lose to the Raiders 14-24. They won 17-15. What kind of score is that?
Well, their score from last week, if you go look, they won last week 17-15 as well.
Wait, both weeks?
Yes.
Oh my God, Washington's a dumpster fire. They are a dumpster fire. Let me see. Who did they play last week? There's no way. How do you get that in consecutive weeks? I don't know. Raiders make no sense to me. It's a meme.
Do you have the Raiders this week?
No, I don't. They weren't playing anybody worth mentioning this week, so we got to skip them. Thank God I started doing their games. Let's see. Anywho, I will move on. Let's see. Predicted the Ravens would beat the Steelers 31-21. They lost 19-20. And I predicted the Vikings would beat the Lions 31-14. And I marked my words that they would be up at half and they would somehow find a way to choke, but I still picked them. So yep, 0-3. Didn't get a single one right.
I was worried about you after that one.
I think a lot of people were. I got a lot of text messages. You good, bro? Don't fucking talk to me. We lost to fucking Detroit. No, I'm not okay. We lost, and then we had to play the Steelers on Thursday Night Football. So they were calling it the disappointment bowl because neither team could beat the Lions. So, yeah, yeah. I don't know. I don't know what to say. Life is actually pain. Like being a Vikings fan is not fun. I didn't even watch the game on Thursday. Didn't bother looking it up while I was out of town. I didn't feel like it was worth the stress.
Man, I was thinking about you because like a minute left, Steelers are driving down by 8. I was like, uh-oh.
I've seen it every week. I've seen it every freaking week. I've seen it. Like I kid you not, if it comes down like a field goal or something, I literally have to turn my back to the TV every week. It's yeah, it's the same shit every week. I can't even.
Right.
I'm not. Look, I'm doing the old cross on your chest thing, and I'm gonna move on before I get on another 30-minute rant about how terrible they are. So moving on, we'll talk about our predictions for next week, which is just coming up Sunday. You've got Ravens at Browns, Raiders at Chiefs, and Packers at Bears.
Oh, so I'm the one stuck with Raiders this week.
Yep.
Ravens at Browns. I'm going to go with my gut. Gut says Ravens pull this one out 24-21.
24. Gotcha.
Raiders at Chiefs. I'm going to say Raiders 14, Chiefs 27.
Okay. It's a respectable score for that division.
The Chiefs just, I don't know, they just look off this year.
Their defense looks like it's carrying the team, but also at the same time, like it's a detriment to the team. It's a weird like dichotomy.
Yeah. And then Packers at Bears. Packers 28, Bears 10.
I'm giving them 10. Interesting.
I'm not expecting Alexander to start. So,
Jair.
Yeah. I want to say fluke touchdown by David Montgomery.
Receiving or rushing?
I want to say rushing.
Rushing, okay. I can see the Bears just they can't pass the ball. Obviously, we just talked about that. So,
Right.
I've got ugly games. So I've got the Cowboys at the Washington football team, 49ers at Bengals, and Rams at Cardinals. So these are all tough. But I think right now in the NFC East, the Cowboys are probably the best team out of that division, and Washington's. It's not really a close second, but it's like a distant second. You know what I mean? Like they don't. they're going to be that team that's like middle of the pack if there's like a playoff spot. 7-9, 8-8, 9-7, somewhere in there.
Right. So
Uh,
just predict the Washington football team to win 17-15.
I was going to ask you about that for the Bears, Packers, honestly, but oh God, let's see. I'm going to say Cowboys 31, Washington football team 17. They just don't have a quarterback. That's the problem.
Okay. I mean, I could
49ers
see
at
that.
Bengals. Oh, go ahead.
I was like, I could see that. Just a lot of too much firepower on the Cowboys side of the ball.
Yeah, Washington plays good defense, but I'm sure like the rest of the league, their defense is probably pretty worn down. I think it's the second time they've actually played Dallas too. So, uh, hmm. 49ers at Bengals. So the 49ers didn't look all that great against us, and neither did the Bengals. Mhm. But I think the Bengals are like marginally better than the 49ers, just because Jimmy G is not that good. So I'm gonna say 21 to uh 34 Bengals.
Okay. I mean, could very easily be the Trey Lance start too if Jimmy G comes out looking bad because they're like 500 towards the end of the year. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, he is he literally got paid because he was Tom Brady's understudy, and he looked good in like 3 games. And Kyle Shanahan should be fired for paying him almost $100 million.
Yeah.
Let's see, Rams at Cardinals. So, man, the Rams should technically be like a high-powered offense, but they're like very streaky. Cardinals, I think, are like the number one seed in the NFC, and honestly, probably the best team in the league this year.
Yeah.
Um,
I think if they win, I think if the Cardinals win, they clinch the first seed.
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, everyone's behind, so far behind. Um, this is probably going to be a high scoring game. Um, I'm going to say the Rams lose 31 to 34.
Okay. And I kind of forgot in my injury segment, Chase Edmonds broke his ankle. He's done for the season.
He's a running back, right?
Yeah. Cardinals, or not Chase Edmonds. Geez. Kenyon Drake.
Oh, okay, I got you. For the Raiders. For the Raiders.
Yes.
Hey,
Chase
how did he
Edmonds
break his
has a
ankle?
chance to come back uh, this week, but it depends on if they want to start him or not, the way James Conner has been playing. I think he
Yeah,
got
he's
rolled
scored
up
like
on in the
six
game,
touchdowns in like 4 weeks, didn't he?
something like that. But I think Kenyon Drake just got rolled up on in that game last week.
Yeah, that sucks. I've had that happen to me and it hurts like hell. But that is really all I've got, man. I think you mentioned something about some trivia or something you had for me because you were tired of me having all the fun with the questions.
Right. I said in the episode last week I would try to find one for you this week.
All right.
So
Well,
just let me know when you're ready.
I am not ready, but I am ready. Go ahead.
All right. So Jonathan Taylor has 16 touchdowns this season.
Uh-huh.
What team is he behind total touchdown wise on the offensive side of the ball by 3?
So total offensive end, Sorry, not off. Receiving and rushing.
Yes, this team has only scored 19 touchdowns and on the year.
Are they in the NFC North?
They are not.
Okay.
They are in
Are they
the
in the AFC?
NFC.
Okay. Let's see. Who's been bad this year like that? Who's been that bad this year in the NFC? Let's see. So the West is pretty solid, so it can't be the West. Is it the South? Like
No,
the Panthers, Saints, Bucks, and who else in the South? There's one more team. I don't know. It don't
Falcons,
matter.
but no,
Falcons, yeah. No.
no.
So that means it has to be the NFC East. It's not the Cowboys because they've been pretty high scoring this year. I don't think it'd be Washington. They've been scoring a pretty decent amount this year. Philly has, so it has to be the Giants.
You are correct. The New York Giants have scored 19 touchdowns on the offensive side of the ball this year.
Yeah,
Jonathan
they're
Taylor has
pretty
scored 16.
they're pretty terrible. They're pretty bad. They are pretty darn bad. I
I
was thinking, it has to be the Lions, but all their games have been close.
so that goes to show you that the Lions may be better than the Giants.
That would be like what's like the opposite of the Super Bowl? Like the Little Caesars like Scrub Bowl if those two teams played together.
The toilet bowl.
Yep. That's what the
Um,
bottom of the barrel bowl.
yeah. So you want another trivia question that I came across?
Yeah, I'll take a shot.
Okay. So
I'm scared. I'm scared.
most pressures from interior defensive players. At first place is Simmons with 49 from Tennessee.
Okay.
Second and third are tied with 47. Who are they?
And they're interior rushers.
Yes.
Okay. Is one of them Aaron Donald?
One of them is Aaron Donald.
Okay. Let's see. Is the other one Cam Hayward?
No.
Okay. AFC or NFC?
NFC.
NFC. So Aaron Donald. Who's been dominating in NFC? Is it Kenny Clark?
It is. So Kenny Clark and Aaron Donald are tied for second with 47.
Yeah, I was about to say he's been. I watched him bench press my center, a couple times a year. So a fourth of those pressures probably came off in one game. That's almost cheating.
I mean, it's possible, but still, for him to be as young as he is, to be tied with like possibly the best interior defensive lineman, I'll take it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Kenny Clark, and you got to think about it. Kenny Clark plays a different position than what Aaron Donald does. He
Yeah,
plays literal nose tackle, which I mean most folks should know if you listen to this podcast. It's straight up on the center. Aaron Donald plays three techniques, so his by design he's supposed to get less double teams, but just because he's so good, teams usually end up sliding protection his way regardless. So, but yeah, Kenny Clark, he gets by his role is to eat up space and take on two blockers every play, and he's still getting those pressures. So yeah, it's impressive, man. I think he's out of UCLA, isn't he?
I believe so.
I didn't really think much of him for like 4 years, and then the Packers picked up his fifth-year option, I think, a couple years back, and then they signed him to a decent contract. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, I
he's
think whenever he got into the league, he was only like 20.
yeah. I
So he's
think it
like
was
young.
yeah, he was drafted when he was 19, I think, is what they were saying. But he was He's all man. I think he's like 6'4", like 330. He's a big
Something
ass
like that.
dancing bear. Y'all had a couple of those monsters in Green Bay. I remember B.J. Raji, Cullen Jenkins, and I think he was there one season with them.
I don't think so because the other one was Ryan Pickett, I believe.
Pickett. Okay.
Um,
But Clark wasn't there?
no, I don't think so.
Man, I
I
just
think
remember BJ doing
the dance in the
the
end zone.
yeah the hip thrust dance, So I remember getting the pick six, and it probably shouldn't have been a touchdown, but they gave it to him because he technically fumbled the ball. But
I mean, you're
yeah,
gonna tell that man that he didn't get a touchdown.
no, he might eat me. I'm scared. Shit, I'm scared of his big ass.
Yes, sir,
Shit, he
Mr.
might
Raji. That
eat
was a
me.
touchdown.
Yeah, yep, absolutely. I know the quarterback knocked it out of your hands on the 1 yard line, sir, but we'll give it to you.
And I want to say that
That's
was
some good
against the
stuff.
Bears too.
It was Caleb Haney. I think it was like the quarterback, and don't ask me how the hell I know that, but I watched that clip enough where Haney drops back. What do they say? It's not the fridge. We might have to call him the freezer. Is what I think. Like what the announcer said. It's just hilarious. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. The Fat Man touchdowns are great.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but with that, yeah, that's some good stuff. Is it gonna be my turn next week, or what? We both gonna bring one? It seems like something to do.
Might both bring one. See what I can scrounge up.
All right. Well, I mean, we'll give it another shot. I really don't have anything else this week, man. I think it's a good time to call her quits.
All right. Until next week, everybody. Y'all take care.
Appreciate it. And as always, if you all have any questions, feel free to email us at afterthefinalwhistlepodcast@gmail.com or leave a voice message. You can do so by clicking the link in the show notes. And if you have a question about how to find the show notes, feel free to shoot us an email. We'll be more than happy to let you know how to go about doing that. We're available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Breaker, Google Podcasts, Pocket Cast. If you want us on another platform, let us know. We're more than happy to look into it. And as always, y'all, peace.